Welcome to Whatever You Need. If you appreciate careful, in-depth takes on the lives behind the headlines, make sure to subscribe, click the join button to support our work, and show your approval with a like, and of course leave your thoughts in the comments below. Today's feature follows two of Turkey's most talked about screen luminaries, Yaman and Demet Özdemir, whose recent personal developments have pulled both fans and tabloids into a fresh, fervent orbit. What began as a whispered reconciliation on social media matured into a quietly staged retreat, a seaside interlude that, in the eyes of many observers, may signify more than a temporary rekindling of intimacy. It may be the prelude to a shared creative chapter that unites the private and the professional. For several months prior to this rapprochement, the narrative surrounding their relationship had been anything but tranquil. Reports of a cooling-off period, coupled with stretches of public silence and sporadic speculation, had left admirers and industry commentators to fill the gaps with conjecture. Such absences, when inhabited by rumor, invite scrutiny. Similarly, the sensual alchemy that once defined their bond had become for a time the subject of fractured dialogues. Yet, in a culture that tracks celebrities as both commodities and characters, the deliberate choice to re-enter public view together amounts to a carefully calibrated statement. It is one thing to issue a terse social media announcement of reunion. It is another to translate that statement into lived, visible moments that convey warmth, ease, and the intent to move forward. Their response, admirers will note, was to retreat rather than to parade. The couple elected a destination that prized seclusion yet offered a cinematic backdrop. A coastal enclave where late sunlight and the hush of waves create the conditions for intimate conversation and unhurried companionship. Photographs from the period depict them in repose, sharing ordinary gestures that read as quietly consequential, a hand resting on a knee, the exchange of a smile in which years of scrutiny seem momentarily suspended. Yaman's posture in these frames retained the sartorial polish associated with his public persona, a minimalist elegance that reasserts the actor's cultivated public image even in leisure. Demet Özdemir, meanwhile, was photographed in a manner that emphasized an effortless radiance. She projected both calm and vitality, an image of someone accustomed to the pressures of public life yet willing to let vitality show plainly. Beyond the aesthetic currency of such images lies a practical dimension that entertains both fans and industry insiders. The holiday has been interpreted as serving dual functions. On one hand, it was conceived as a private opportunity to heal, to re-establish trust, and to reconnect away from the glare of cameras. On the other, it presents itself, whether intentionally orchestrated or organically emergent, as a fertile interval for professional alignment. Close observers have conjectured that conversations held on the beach, over long dinners, or during idle afternoon walks could naturally traverse beyond matters of the heart and into considerations of collaborative projects. Given both artists' trajectories and the commercial momentum that attaches to any pairing of high-profile talents, the idea that this reunion might catalyze shared screen time or joint appearances is hardly fanciful. Indeed, the coupling of personal and professional renewal is a familiar pattern within the entertainment ecosystem, where chemistry off-camera often presages on-screen synergy. Pause now. If you are enjoying this reportage and want more stories like this one, please take a moment to subscribe to Whatever You Need. Hit that join button if you want to give extra support. Your membership helps us produce deeper, better researched features. And tell us below, do you believe this reunion is founded on genuine reconciliation, or do you detect the shaping hand of strategic timing for future collaborations? Which other celebrities would you like to see covered on this channel? Your voice matters and helps to guide our editorial focus. Returning to the heart of the matter, the timing of the escape bears consideration. Both actors have been engaged in demanding professional cycles, promotional tours, shooting schedules, and the relentless cadence of social media engagements that leave little room for private regeneration. In such conditions, a deliberate descent into privacy acquires the character of a necessary corrective, a temporary reclamation of ordinary rhythms. Long breakfasts without interruptions, evening conversations uninterrupted by queries, and the rare indulgence of anonymous strolls along a shore where temperament, rather than headline, dictates the day. For two individuals who are habitually observed, such moments offer more than respite. They function as a private workshop where the logistics of life and career may be renegotiated in person rather than on the intermittent stage of public discourse. The press, predictably, seized upon every visible nuance. Entertainment columnists speculated on whether the reconciliation might be leveraged into co-starring roles, brand partnerships, or festival appearances, while photographers and tabloid outlets parsed the couple's body language for signs of permanence. Yet amid such speculation, a subtler point warrants attention: reunions conducted in private, then tenderly shared, complicate the binary that often governs celebrity relationships in the public imagination. They demonstrate how reconciliation can be both authentic and performative by necessity, as the very act of sharing becomes a way to shape public perception and to reassure a concerned fan base. Throughout this unfolding story, the couple's social media statements played a key role. Their posts, suffused with emotional candor, offered immediate narrative closure to months of speculation while simultaneously opening a new chapter filled with expectation. The language of these messages, earnest, intimate, and strategically public, functioned as a bridge between private reconciliation and public acknowledgement. Fans read into the tone, the timing, and even the choice of images. For many, these posts were the most convincing evidence that reconciliation was more than a headline. It remains to be seen whether the ensuing weeks and months will confirm the permanence of their renewed relationship or suggest that this holiday was a necessary but temporary reprieve. Yet beyond the binary of permanence and transience, this episode underscores an enduring truth about celebrities who live in the glare. Authenticity is often expressed through disciplined discretion. Choosing to retreat, to address friction away from the public eye, and to re-engage with audiences on one's own terms requires a measure of autonomy that is, in contemporary celebrity culture, increasingly rare. If you've followed this story to this point, please pause to like and share this feature. Your engagement enables us to keep producing long-form narratives that probe beyond surface gossip. And again, tell us which Turkish stars you'd like us to explore next on Whatever You Need. Would you prefer deeper profiles, investigative pieces, or intimate human interest portraits? Your suggestions will shape our future coverage. To draw this account to a close, the Seaside respite taken by Yaman and Demet Özdemir should be read as an emblematic moment, a carefully chosen, modestly publicized act that reintroduced warmth into a relationship previously marked by distance and debate. The images and messages emanating from that brief intermission carry the dual significance of personal restoration and the potential reopening of a professional partnership, each possibility equally tantalizing to public imagination. Whether their future will be saturated by collaborative projects or quietly maintained away from the cameras, the decision to return to one another's company publicly signals a willingness to face renewed scrutiny together. For fans, that willingness may be enough to kindle hope. For the media, it provides fresh copy. And for the artists themselves, it offers a chance to define the terms of their next chapter. Thank you for reading this extended coverage on Whatever You Need. If this piece resonated with you, please subscribe, click join if you'd like to support deeper reporting, and help us by liking and commenting. We read every message, and your input directly influences our editorial direction. Until the next story, stay curious, stay engaged, and keep the conversation alive. We'll see you in the next video.